Alright, so I have no idea where I'm at for videos right now. Right now, you can see that mirror over there. I used to be happy with it, but as you look at it, you can see that it's cut off by this bar here. Okay, so this is kind of what it's looking like. It's a bit janky, but it does a trick. And there I have my mirror. I still have to adjust it a little bit, but that's where it sits now. Alright, so this door over here, I don't know if I ever told you, but it just quite didn't line up properly. I'm not sure why. It was a little bit, the latch on the door was a little bit lower than this one. And instead of adjusting that in any which way, okay. And there, by the way, there was a huge gap up top too. Instead, I just put some washers in between the top hinge and this hinge plate and effectively spaced it out. Now this bottom plate has always been out. So until I take a look at this more seriously, that's my solution. And it now shuts a hell of a lot better. Today what we're doing on the Rover is painting a little bit and some more body work and filling some holes with some nuts and bolts and washers and lock washers. But we got some cool stencils here. Look, I bought these like 2 years ago. No smoking sticker, no step. Now these are stickers, but it's an actual stencil. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put no step around the Jeep. We're gonna put that in the Jeep and whatever the hell else I decide to do, maybe with these. Around the Jeep, there's a bunch of holes. Not holes like that. I think they're drain holes. I'm not sure. What I've done is I've used some fender washers and some bolts and some nuts and just plugged these holes up. Ooh, I gotta move this one by the looks of it. I was originally gonna put some sheet metal and just weld it on, but I decided to go this route because in the event that this Jeep gets flooded, I can just remove these. And they're all around. Like there's one here. There's like 5 or 6 on the other floor over there. And then the holes on the side here where the rocker guard went, or whatever the hell that's called, I've just used smaller bolts and nuts and filled them for now. There. Oh, another thing I did temporarily while we were waiting for this video is I've added some weather stripping or molding or whatever. So that way I can seal the door because the door doesn't fit properly. And there's a really big gap up here. But now there's no gap and it's airtight, which means the ride's quieter. So once I fix all the holes, fix all the gaps, and maybe add some sound deadening material, figure out another way to soundproof this thing so that it's quieter when you go on highway speeds. But that's good news. There's a whole bunch of aftermarket that I have no idea about. So anything that you think might fit this Jeep, fit the project, fit the build, fit the idea, leave it in the comments because I would love to know. I would love to know. But let's get started here. Cut some panels for the Jeep. Now, how it works is there's not much to weld onto here, and there's not much to weld onto the back. So what I've gone and done is I've made my own body panels, done my own body work with a hammer. So it fits here, just like that, tack weld all around, tack weld up here, tack weld here, and then that's good to sit like that. And then if you see in the Rover, I think this entire part gets extended with that aluminum checker plate, I think. And so just goes over top and it looks beautiful. You might be wondering, what the hell is this one for? This one's massive. Well, I don't remember exactly, actually. How does this work? Oh, it's like this. Something along the lines of that. So there's still a lot of patchwork to do, lots of welding, lots of cutting. This cowl needs work, obviously. By the way, this paint job, holding up pretty good. All it is 2 coats of that duplicolor acrylic enamel. And I've been driving around with this Jeep, and so far it still looks pretty good on both doors. The only problem is, because there's no clear coat, it's easy to mark up, right? And you can't just buff it out. And I know it could be part of the look, but it's just gonna get so scratched that it's gonna stand out from everything else. So I'm wondering, is there a clear coat that isn't gonna make this shine like a bitch? I just want it to shine maybe a little bit. Wondering where to put that sticker. I think right in here should do. If you've seen my old Jeep, the Jeep ZEDJAY I had, you'll know that I was a huge fan of stickers back then. You won't see that on this Jeep. You will see stickers from people I've worked with and stuff, but no basic bitch stickers anymore. I want this no smoking one because it makes sense. I don't want people to smoke in this thing.
You fucker.
I didn't bother prepping the surface too much because if it gets faded and worn away, I mean, I think it adds to the look. Got Tremclad rust paint because it's the only paint I can find. That's a little heavy. I kind of don't mind the look of that, but I am going to clean it. Or not. Okay, let's try this again. Looks like dog shit, but it'll work.